Hi everybody, it's Claire from Claire's Food Haven. I'm really excited tonight. I'm cooking chicken chow mein for the first time. I'm following a recipe online by natasha'skitchen.com and I'm going to go over the ingredients and the cost. Is this for 2 people? So I've got a large chicken breast here. So I bought some chicken which was 350 grams from Aldi, came in at £4.49 and I'm using half of that tonight. So that comes in at £2.24 for the chicken. We're going to have some fresh noodles with it. I got a bag of these from Aldi for 99p. We're also going to have some sweetheart cabbage. The rest of the ingredients I got from Sainsbury's, by the way. So I got the noodles and the chicken from Aldi. Everything else I've bought from Sainsbury's, okay? Sweetheart cabbage, or you can use white cabbage, was 69p. So we're using half of that. So that's going to be 35p. And the carrots, I got a big bag of carrots for 69p. I'm just going to use 2 carrots. So that comes in at 15p. The spring onions, which I'm going to use as a garnish on top of the dish once we're finished. I may not use all of these. They come in at 65p. The bean sprouts were 75p. The soy sauce I got ages ago. That was like, where 59p, so 5p for the soy sauce. Oyster sauce, which I've never used before. I'm really excited about this. This was £2.49 for the bottle, but I'm going to be using about a tenth of that, I reckon, this evening. So I put 25p for that. Sesame oil, again, I've never cooked with this before. This is a special treat. This was £2.50 for the bottle, so I'm going to be using about 15p worth of that. I'm going to be using a little bit of olive oil to fry the chicken in, so that's going to come in at 10p. The stock cube, 10p. A garlic clove, 10p. Half a tablespoon of corn flour, I've put 5p for that. Half a tablespoon of sugar, 2p. So altogether, for the food, it costs £5.30. Now for the hob, for the electricity, I'm going to be frying the chicken first for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to be doing the stir fry for about 10 minutes altogether. But that's going to be on a high heat. So for the hob, I've estimated 20p for the cost of that. So with the 20p added to the £5.30 for the food, it comes in at £5.50 altogether for this meal. So let's get cooking. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the hob up to number 5. My hob goes up to 6, so 5 is quite a high setting. And we're going to be putting a little bit of olive oil in there. And the first stage is to cut up the chicken into thin strips that we're going to fry. Okay. So this is the chicken. I defrosted it overnight. When I got the chicken the other day, what I did was I cooked with half of it, and then I put the other half straight in the freezer because I knew I was going to be making this meal. So I'm going to cut it into thin strips. It's a large chicken breast. There is a little bit of fat on it there, which I'm just going to cut off. I don't want to eat that, so just take that off. Fatty bit there. Quite a lot of meat for the price, you know, it's a good price that. Again, it's a bit of fat there. Feels a bit hard. I'm just gonna bin that. Another bit of fat there on the end, just taking that off. So this is a really quick meal to make, you know, it's not going to take long to make this. Cut that in half and then again on that. Stick this in the frying pan. That frying pan's still heating up, and we've got fresh plastic bit there. So whilst that chicken's cooking in the frying pan, I'm going to prep the veg. You could use white cabbage if you haven't got sweetheart cabbage. That's ideally, I think white cabbage is probably the better for this actually. It would probably work out better. Knife. What's that? So let's have a look at this cabbage. We're just going to peel the outer leaves off. Quite a lot. You know, you could eat that. There's nothing wrong. I'm just being a bit picky. So you cut that, I reckon. We want thin strips. On the recipe, it looks delicious what they've done on the recipe. You know, I don't know how we're going to do this. We want to shred this into thin strips. Really small bits if we can. That's not small enough. Got my wedding ring on the wrong. There we go. That's better. Right. And just cut in thin strips like that. If you wanted, you could cut them again, you know, like going like, should we do that? Should we make them even smaller? Let's do that. So I think when I looked at the recipe, the cabbage bits were like, they were really, really small, you know? So I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. So we've got plenty of cabbage there. Just going to give that chicken a stir because it's starting to. You can hear it now. It's starting to cook. I turn that down to 4. Okay, just give it a. Ideally, you'd want to use a wok for this. I think a wok would be perfect, but a large frying pan will do just as well for the job, you know. Okay. Do the carrots next. So with the carrots, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do thin strips. Peel them first. You might want to leave the skin on, you know, and have the fibre from the carrot. That's fine. You can do that if you want. I like to peel mine. So for what we're going to do for now is long strips. Maybe we'll cut it in the middle first. And then just do strips like that. This is my attempt at making carrot spaghetti. There you go. Not bad. I might just have to cut like this. Okay, cool. And then do the same. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's stir that chicken again. The chicken needs a bit of attention. It's looking good. Carrots. This chicken's still got a few minutes to go. So whilst that's cooking, I'm going to just prep some of these spring onions for the garnish. I think I'll use half of them. Just take off the ends there. That doesn't look the best. Take that off. Spring onion I'm going to garnish on top of the dish once everything else is cooked up and served it onto the plate. I'm just going to sprinkle that on. Chicken needs another stir. Nearly cooked now, I'd say. That's a little bit longer. Right, that's the garnish. Oh, it's starting to go a bit golden brown now, the chicken, lovely. That's what it said on the recipe. Cook it until it's golden brown. I'm just slicing up a bit of garlic now. This is going to go in the frying pan with the veg in a moment. I'm just going to put this chicken to one side for a few minutes. Pan back on the hob, a little bit of olive oil. Now, I'm going to make the sauce up now because this whole process isn't going to take very long. It's going to be quick. So So the recipe for the sauce is 6 tablespoons of oyster sauce. We're going to half that. Might even just use 2. Because, never used this stuff before. I don't know what it's like. I'm sure I've eaten plenty of it, but because it's in. Ooh, it smells funny. It's like you can't really. How does it come out? It's really thick. It's like, oh, wow. Oh, right, that'll do for that. And we're going to put some soy sauce in. It's saying 3 tablespoons, so we'll put a good amount of soy sauce in there. 3 tablespoons of light sesame seed oil. So use 1, 2. Just going to boil the water for the stock cube because it wants us to do that as well. That's the fat sizzling away in the pan there. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. So cornstarch is corn flour. So it says I'll put a teaspoon in. Maybe a bit more. Don't want it too thick, do you? I mean, this stuff is so. You forget how powerful corn flour is. It's you don't need much to thicken your sauces with, you know. And a stock cube. I've got a ham stock cube here, but you could use a veggie stock cube, chicken stock cube. To be fair, for half a cup, you could probably get away with just putting half a stock cube in there, but I'll make a full cup up. That's about half of that. It also wants 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, so I'm going to put a teaspoon of sugar in. And then I'm going to pour half of this cup into all of that. That should be enough. Mix it all together. Oh, it smells nice. I think that oyster sauce is quite strong. Quite interested to see how this turns out. Okay, sesame, that's what I can smell, it's the sesame seed oil. So let's have a look at the instructions. Right, so we're going to put the garlic in the pan, fry it up with the cabbage, onions and bean sprouts. We're going to use some bean sprouts as well. I don't think I'm going to need all of the bean sprouts, so I've used about half a packet, just over half a packet here. Put them in as well. And just give it a good stir. Right, it wants us to saute this for a few minutes before we put the chicken and the sauce in. So I'm really excited about this because it needs to be on a high heat. We're going to put it up to 5. You know what? Maybe put a few more bean sprouts in there. Just a few. I love bean sprouts. So good. put it up to 6 for a moment, just see where that takes us. Yeah. Okay. Right, okay, time for the fun part. Now we're going to add the chicken in to this and the sauce that we've just made. We've got the heat up to 6. This is as high as the hob goes. And we're going to hopefully get it a bit hotter than that. It needs to be not as hot as I'd like. Doing stir fries and things on the electric, it's not as good as if you've got gas. You know, if you've got gas, cooking on gas with stir fries, it's amazing. You can really get it hot. But we'll let that heat up a bit. I think that's going to be okay. I was thinking maybe I could add a bit more dark sauce to that, you know, just a bit more soy sauce, and maybe a bit more of the oyster sauce as well. This stuff's funny. It's like, I was always a bit reluctant to tip things, you know, straight onto, just in case a whole lot falls out and ruins the dish. But yeah, that looks a bit better. And of course we're going to be adding the noodles. I nearly forgot the vital ingredient, folks. We've got the noodles going in as well. Generally when I'm cooking with noodles like this, I quite often just put a bit of extra soy sauce on them like that. Just to help them on the way. And then just stir it all in together. Spend a few minutes getting all the food amongst the noodles, you know. Oh, this smells amazing. That sesame oil is a strong smell, you know. It's coming through. It really is coming through. Obviously the soy sauce and the garlic and that oyster sauce as well. What is in oyster sauce? Let's have a look and see. Water, sugar, oyster extract, 5%. So it's actually got oyster in it. Modified cornstarch, salt, colour, plain caramel, lactic acid, yeast extract, potassium sorbate, and something called, beginning with an X, xanthan gum. So the oyster sauce has got quite a lot of stuff in it already. Oh, this is looking good. You know, now that I've added the noodles in and I've added that extra bit of soy sauce and we're working it all together. Can't wait to get stuck into this. So I'm just going to let that finish off a little bit and then get the plates ready for dishing out. There we go, turned off the hob, ready to dish out. It's been cooking for a few more minutes, this. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm pleased with that. Ooh. There's a lot of food here, you know. This 2 massive portions. You could probably put into 3 portions if you wanted to. Chicken chow mein. Oops, I forgot to add the spring onions on as a garnish, but it didn't matter because it was absolutely delicious. The flavours, you know, the chicken with the bean sprouts and all those Chinese flavourings, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed my meal.